Hey everyone, in this lesson we're going to be looking at the CAGED system and how you can use it to visualize your chords and your scales and your arpeggios in one position. Let's dive right into it. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at the C shape for major chords and how you can visualize your pentatonic scale, which is a 5-note scale, a hexatonic scale, which is a 6-note scale, and a heptatonic scale, which is a 7-note scale, as well as your arpeggio all around this one shape. So for example, if we take our C shape in the key of E, and if I hold that chord around this shape, we can play the major pentatonic, which is a 5-note scale. All around that C shape. Then we've got our hexatonic scale, which is a 6-note scale. So we've got the major blues scale. There's 2 scales all in this same position. We've then got our heptatonic scale, which is a 7-note scale, and the most obvious one to use for this chord would be the major scale, which looks like this. And then finally, we've got an arpeggio we can grab, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a simple major arpeggio within this shape like this. How cool is that? Within that one shape, we've got access to all these tools to create music with. Now let's jump over to the computer and I'm going to build this C shape. So let's look at the intervals we have here. We've got a root 3/5, we've got another root, and then a major third. We're not going to be playing that low E string. The C shape from CAGED originates from the open C shape, which looks like this. And all we're doing with it is making it movable. So if I move it up a fret, using my first finger, I'm recreating that nut there, those open notes. And we've got our C shape in the key of C sharp. So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, so on and so forth. If we stick with the key of E here, the reason I know it's the key of E because I'm looking at the 7th fret on the A string, which is the root for this chord. So we can see that here you can either use the A string or B string to decide what key it's in. So I know that that 7th fret is an E, so this must be an E major chord. So it's good to know that this shape is movable to anywhere on the neck. If you want to do it in the key of A, go to the 12th fret, that's where an A is, and you play this shape, and that is A major. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first of all is around this shape, we're going to be building our pentatonic scale. So let's write this out one more time next door over here, just so we can see the skeleton. So let's do this as well in the key of G. So G is on the 10th fret. So the example on this bigger fretboard down here is what we're working with. So there is our G major chord. Around this, we're going to be building our major pentatonic. And what we have is actually shape 3 of the major pentatonic, which looks like this. And let me build this around this shape here. We'll do it in different circles so you can see the skeleton of the chord underneath. But here we have shape 4 of the major pentatonic. So what you want to do when you practice is play the chord like this. And then from this root note here, you want to ascend the scale. So we're going to go root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, so on and so forth. So we play the chord and then we play the scale. I like to descend back below the root and then come back to the root, just so you know where you are. So and then play the chord again. There is our first scale. This is the major pentatonic. It's a great one to grab when you want to do a little bit of noodling, so you could play the chord. And then just grab some notes from that major pentatonic and have some fun. So there's our first scale. Next up, we've got our hexatonic scale, so our 6-note scale, and essentially it's still shape number 3. It's exactly the same as this shape 3 of the major pentatonic. So let me write that out one more time here. And for the major blues scale, we're adding in one extra note, which is this minor third. We've got one there and one there. So let me put it on the diagram down here. So we've got one here and one there. So once again, what we want to do is practice this scale around the chord shape, play the chord first and then do the scale. And there you have it, we've got our hexatonic scale. Now, to take this a step further and get access to more notes, we can take a full scale, a full heptatonic scale, a 7-note scale, which is the major scale. So we've got a root, we've got a 2, 3, we need a 4, so we want to put the 4 there, 5, 6, we need 7, back 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and we want to fill out the rest of these notes. And there we have the full major scale in one position as well. We've got access to that. So the way I would ascend this would be root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth, past the octave and then come back down. So we want to play the chord and then ascend and descend this major scale. Okay, let me add this to the bigger fretboard. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Okay, so last of all, we've got the arpeggio. These are one of my favorite things to learn around the CAGED shape. So essentially it is following this shape. So it's already got the makings of an arpeggio. So we're going to be creating a major arpeggio, which has a root, a third, and a fifth. So a major third and a fifth. And what we want to do with a true arpeggio is follow that order when you're ascending and descending. So that's what this shape is actually doing. We've got a root 3, 5, and then we've got a root 3. So what we want to do is we want to add another fifth up here. And we want to add another fifth down here because it's going to go root and then backwards be a fifth, and then we've got another third here. And that completes the arpeggio. So what you want to do again here is play the chord. And I like to use sweep picking for this. All the other ideas I was using alternate picking, but we're doing down, 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 down for the first 5 strings. And then we're going to do an upstroke on that perfect fifth and then do a pull off to the third, and then upstroke, 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 back down, upstroke, pull off, hammer on, downstroke. And they're so musical arpeggios because they're quite simply following the tones, the chord tones. And what you can do is when you're soloing, let's say we've got a G major chord going, you can grab all these ideas, your pentatonic stuff, grab some arpeggios, so you could actually practice over this major chord more extended arpeggios. So you could practice a major 7 arpeggio or major 9, a major 9 sharp 11, which is a kind of Lydian sound, a major 13, so on and so forth. You can take it to another level once you get comfortable with these first 5 ideas. But if you are a beginner to intermediate player and have never heard about this kind of system, then I highly recommend spending some time practicing this. I'm going to be going through all 5 shapes for major chords and their corresponding scales and arpeggios over the next 5 lessons. So make sure you subscribe. If you would like to get the PDFs and tabs and things, you can go check out my Guitar Practice Academy. I'm doing 50% off annual memberships at the moment, so go check that out. But hopefully I will see you for another lesson very soon.
Oh, I feel it now. I can't make you smile.